it's just spontaneously coming in my mind. It's telling that which is spontaneously coming in my mind. Besides chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, also, you all also can be, we should all also be focusing on chanting the single holy names. There are many wonderful single holy names of the Supreme Lord. Single holy name like Govinda, 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 Gopinath, Madana Mohana, Madhava, Madhava, Krishna, Krishna, Rama, Krishna, Krishna, Rama. In this way, Madhusudana, Madhava, also very beneficial. These single chanting and singing, all these single names in a single way, repeating, also very, very beneficial. Besides chanting Mahamantra. Sometimes, at some situation, devotees may have some feelings, oh, chanting Mahamantra, it is taking time longer. But they feel more inspired to chant single name. Very easy. And it can also be very beneficial. Rama, Rama, Ram, 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 Rama, Rama, Rama. Repeat. Govinda, 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 Madhava, Madhava. With feelings. Single name. Very easy to chant and sing. But repetition is so beneficial. Krishna, Rama, Krishna, Rama, Radhe, 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 Shyama, Radhe, Radhe. Single name. Srimad Mahaprabhu was also found to be chanting many times. Hari, Rama, Krishna, single names. Krishna, 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 He. Krishna, 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 He. This is what Mahaprabhu chanted and sang and danced during his South India tour, South Indian pilgrimage tour. This has been quoted in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita in this way. Just chanting, singing, absorbed in ecstatic devotional mood, being absorbed in devotional ecstasy. Absorbed in ecstatic devotion unto Krishna in Radha Bhava, chanting, singing in this way and dancing. Mahaprabhu many times did not walk on the path. He danced on the path. He did many portion of the pilgrimage tour he covered by dancing, not by walking. Krishna, 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 He. Krishna, 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 He. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Raksha Mam. Krishna Kesava, Krishna Kesava, Krishna Kesava Pahimam. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava Rakshamam. Krishna Kesava, Krishna Kesava, Krishna Kesava Pahimam. We find that from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Guru Maharaj Siddharth Dev Goswami Pad also wrote, following the same mood, composed a beautiful verse in his Premadhama Deva Stotram. Krishna, 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 Krishna Nama Kirtanam, Rama Rama Gana Ramya, Divya Chanda Nartanam. Yatra Tatra Krishna Nama, Dana Loka Nistarang, Prema Dhama Deva Meva, Naumi Gaura Sundaram. Krishna, 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 Krishna Nama Kirtanam, Rama Rama Gana Ramya, Divya Chanda Nartanam. Yatra Tatra Krishna Nama, Dana Loka Nistarang. Yatra Tatra Krishna Nama, Dana Loka Nistarang. Prema Dhama Deva Meva, Naumi Gaura Sundaram, Naumi Gaura Sundaram. See, Krishna, 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 Krishna Nama Kirtanam, Rama Rama Gana Ramya Dibba Chanda Nartanam. Yatra Tatra Krishna Nama, Dana Loka Nistarang. Yatra Tatra Krishna Nama, Dana Loka Nistarang. Prema Dhama Deva Meva, Naumi Gaura Sundaram. Prema Dhama Deva Meva, Naumi Gaura Sundaram. If you all read, if you all can have the whole Premadhamos Deva Statram composed by Srila Guru Maharaj in glorification of Lord Chaitanya, just by heart, I repeat, if you can have the whole Premadhama Deva Statram by heart, actually you will be having whole synopsis, essence of Chaitanya Charitamrita by heart. Practically almost whole Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita has been presented in synopsis form, summary form, essential form, through this Premadhama Deva Statram hymns, Sanskrit hymns. From which point this context came up, topics? Yes, chanting or singing the single name of Krishna, Radhika, Mahaprabhu. Thus Mahaprabhu also continued chanting Krishna, 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 He. Krishna, 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 He. In this way, Krishna, 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 Rakshamam, Krishna, 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 Pahimam. Saying, oh Krishna, 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 be protecting me. Krishna, 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 Rakshama means please be protecting me. Protecting me. Mercifully take care of me. Then Krishna, 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 pahi mam, be nurturing me. Be sustaining me, nurturing me. Pahi mam means nurturing me. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakshama. Again, be protecting me. Rama Raghava, Rama. Krishna Kesava, Krishna Kesava, Krishna Kesava, Pahima. Please be nurturing me. See, after all, this spiritual world, we the devotees are engaged in the higher cultivation of higher spiritual life. Spirit has to be set right. Therefore, our spiritual mood has to be proper and appropriate, live. The way we are always used to be living mostly on bodily plane of activities. Similarly, we also have to be accustomed and used, habituated to be living in a spiritual way. Living our life not just in a bodily way or mental way, but spiritual way. Have to grow such good habit to be trying to be mostly living in a spiritual way, in higher spiritual consciousness, divine Krishna consciousness. If it doesn't happen in a normal way, insist on it. Be insisting and insisting. Then it will become your second nature at some point. Through the process of living, insisting, I repeat, by the process of continued insistence, you will become that. Such good habit will grow up, it will be mixed with your nature. Then you will be naturally living on higher spiritual platform in the world of higher divine consciousness. It will happen. Motivation is required. Proper motivation is required. Conscious motivations are required. See, often it happens in our life practices. Sometimes I am not ready to do something. I don't know how it is going to happen, not ready to do something important due to some excuse or other attractions, many things distracting. But once we make up our mind, take some determinations, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Take some determination in mind. No, I must do it. Let me do it. Let me go for it. I must do it. Then once we apply ourselves in doing that, once we engage ourselves in doing it by changing the gear, okay, like the way we wake up from sleep. Don't like to wake up at some point. No, I have to wake up. changing the gear like that. I have to wake up. Then we wake up. So, when we understand something is very important in our life to do, but we have some different mental excuses, our mind is very expert to find many excuses. So, but when we can manage our mind, tame our mind, taming our mind, managing our mind, after talking in a friendly way, nice way, convincing the mind, you must do it. It's good for you, very good for you to do this. You must do it, go for it. Then as we go for it, as we start doing that, as we begin to do that which is very important in our life, then we flow nicely. Then we see, okay, we have natural adjustment and we also start flowing nicely doing it. We have to make a start somewhere through motivations. Once you start the generator, put the fuel in generator and make a start of it, then it will run on its own. It can happen that way. It will run on its own. When you are into the mood, you are absorbed into the real mood, you have entered that world, then by the beauty and attraction of that world, it will take you. It will be flowing you, take you in the current. You'll be flowing in the current. But you have to participate in the current. You have to be participating in the divine current. Then it will take you, carry you. So, sincerely motivating us in a Krishna conscious way is a great part of our sadhana. When it may not happen normally, naturally, because we are living on the mundane plane, so many distractions are everywhere, so many engagements, so many occupations, time flying, everything. Therefore, we have to be particularly motivated. We have to have some time to particularly motivate ourselves through reminder, through reminding us in a nice way and motivating, keep on motivating ourselves. Okay, to be doing something greatly beneficial, to be engaged in doing something which is divinely gainsome, divinely beneficial. We must, in other words, we must be motivating ourselves, keep on motivating ourselves to achieve the higher goods, divine achievements of life. Then it will happen. Then as we begin, as we start participating in that flow, in that divine flow, divine current, so as the participant, will be gainer. Thus, becoming the participant in the divine current, will also be bathing in that. Okay, will be experiencing that, tasting the nectar, the divine truth and nectarian satisfaction of being carried, being absorbed, being carried by the divine current of loving devotion towards the Supreme. I can feel into the consciousness of the assembled devotees. Right now, devotees are hearing with attention. No, and they're feeling into it. I have feelings into that and I appreciate it. What serious mood, some special attention now you all have. Right now, what quality, what kind of nice attention, special attention you are paying. You are being respectful and serious to hear this Harikatha. This has to be continued when you go out also. When you all go out, we go out, some way, this sort of mood, conscious awareness, attention, should be continued. Like that. Doing everything, living in Krishna consciousness. That is the motto. Taking care of everything even in our mundane life. I repeat, taking care of everything in our mundane life as much as possible, situated in Krishna consciousness. If it's not possible for you all to be situated, doing everything, being situated in Krishna consciousness, at least in connection, in some connection with Krishna consciousness. Yo mang pashyati sarvatra sarvancha mai pashyati tasyahang na pranashyami sachame na pranashyati. Yo mang pashyati sarvatra sarvancha mai pashyati tasyahang na pranashyami sachame na pranashyati. Matta parataranga nanat kinchidasti dhananjaya mai sarvamidang protang sutre maniganaiva. Ahang sarvasya prabhavu matta sarvang pravartate iti matva bhajanti mang buddha bhava samannita. Can you find out that verse from Bhagavad Gita? That verse, Yo mang pashyati sarvatra.
No, Českou.
6:30. 6th chapter, 30th verse. See. That verse, same verse, 6:30. Yo mang pashyati sarvatra sarvancha mai pashyati tasyahang na pranashyami sachame na pranashyati. Found it?
Kdo mě vidí všude a vše vidí ve mně, tomu se nikdy nestratím a on se nikdy nestratí mě.
Again, read out the translation in English.
I haven't in English. Just check what.
Okay, he is finding.
Okay.
Raghavendra Prabhu.
Should I read it?
Yes. He found it, okay.
For one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I am never lost, nor is he ever lost to me.
Okay, very meaningful. Very meaningful verse. Meaning living in Krishna consciousness. That is simply meaning living life in Krishna consciousness. Seeing everything, relating to everything, doing everything in Krishna consciousness. Question, how to do? Cultivating a good habit in the first place. It's not very hard to do that. Not very hard. Okay, it's not that difficult. If we have proper notion, if you have proper temperament, okay, right temperament to do that, it's not really hard or difficult to do that. Living life in Krishna consciousness. Like, take some time out, do some pranayam, or just while you are walking, breathing in the fresh air, thinking, I am actually breathing in the fresh pranic energy of Krishna from the air. See. So, suppose you are walking or outside, just breathing in and out. Just do it in Krishna consciousness. Just thinking. While breathing in the air, feel, actually I am breathing in, absorbing in the fresh energy of life from the air. Potency of Krishna is one form of Krishna, in the form of pranic energy, in the form of oxygen in the air. I am breathing in. Breathing out, I am giving out something very beneficial for the trees. Also another form, subtle potency of Krishna, very beneficial for the trees. Drinking water, there is life potency of Krishna inside the water. Drink that water in with awareness. Be drinking, be eating, be sleeping, be breathing, be doing everything, be talking everything in connection with Krishna's energy, which is reality. Doing everything absorbed in that consciousness, that these are all different expansions, different forms of Krishna's potency to be sustaining, maintaining, nurturing my life. I'm always so grateful to my Divine Lord. So grateful to my Divine Lord, my guardian, my protector, my nurturer. I am so grateful to you, my Lord. Just. Yes, please.
Yes, you are describing situations where we can try to see Krishna everywhere, but these situations are more or less pleasant situations, which is kind of easier to remind Krishna in these situations. What about the unpleasant situations? How to train our mind in situations that are not really favorable for us?
Okay, I will come to that point a little later after this. So, in the Holy Scripture, I am still flowing, okay, because my nature is to complete a topic first thoroughly, instead of stopping haphazard way, then going on to the next. So there are some very nice directions in the Holy Scriptures about how to be doing everything in God consciousness, situated in Krishna consciousness. eating, drinking, sleeping, mating, walking, and talking, thinking, willing, everything. Bathing. See, while we are bathing, there are mantra. There are some mantras, particular mantras. Particular Vedic mantras are there for bathing. See, before eating, at the time of eating, there are some mantras. Prasad, Mahaprasad, Bandhana. At the time of eating, the consciousness should be that tasting prasadam, not just eating food. Not just, oh, delicious, very delicious food, how tasty, yummy, finish. Then it becomes material way of eating. Devotees are supposed to be eating, tasting Mahaprasada. So changing the entuning. We have to be changing the way of entuning, instead of while engaged in tasting the delicious food, while engaging in eating delicious food, just entune the temperament in such a way that we have the mood, I'm actually tasting prasad. I'm eating and tasting this prasad, so delicious. And this blessed potency of the prasad will be nurturing me from inside, will be nurturing me, my material health as well as spiritual health. Will be nurturing me in Krishna consciousness. I am not just eating some food in ordinary way. Actually, I am eating prasad, tasting the taste of prasad, and I am being nurtured. My whole existence being nurtured by the potency of prasad. And then you continue eating. Then it is eating in Krishna consciousness. But if you just do in a casual, normal way, wow, so delicious, fine. My stomach is filled up, now I have to run to do another thing. I have no time. Sometimes, we can see some people are gobbling, no time. One hand gobbling, one hand drinking, one hand gobbling and then running. This is even very bad for material health even. Ayurveda says, what kind of way of eating is that? You have to give some time for yourself. You have to give some time for taking care of your health. Eating is one of the main parts of your health care. So you have to have some nice time, peaceful time to eat your nutritious food and feel the satisfaction. Then it is proper eating. Those who think, I'm so busy, I can do and run, so much suffering comes because of all these bad habits. Not only in regard to the eating, in many ways we see people are running, no time. So, sometimes we see, there's a saying in India, they're selling milk to buy the alcohol. Some people who are selling milk to buy the alcohol, doing the wrong thing, eliminating the right thing, more healthier things to buy some wrong drinks. Eliminating the very nutritious food, milk, selling it for buying something tamasic food. Often we see businessmen or so-called busy persons, they are neglecting the true ways, they're neglecting the true healthcare things, what they really need in order to take care of the health, and they are giving so much attention and importance to the less important things. It's like that, I have no more time, I have to go to the bar and drink some alcohol. Oh, no more time, time is running out, party is just going to be finished, I need to run. Oh, I'm hungry, gobbling the food and running. Which is more important? Drinking alcohol, going to the bar, drinking alcohol, attending the party is not important. But that became so urgent thing for some people. And peacefully eating some nutritious food and satisfy hunger became less important. You see, upside down policy. We often see these are all called illusion. Illusory way of living life. So much delusion, so much influence of illusions, delusions, joy of ignorance, joy under ignorance, and feel momentarily happy, satisfied, and then as a result, so much ramification coming, so much bad effects coming as a result. This is called prayer. In Bhagavad Gita, Seva and prayer, these are all prayer. So many people are just after prayer, rejecting this Shreya. Rejecting Shreya, which is real good for life, truly good for life, rejecting it to accept the prayer, which is apparently good but actually bad. Which are apparently good, looks like, feels so good, but actually bad. This is foolishness. Living in fool's paradise. We have to, our aim has to be living in real paradise. Living in intelligence paradise. Real paradise, not in fool's paradise. Fool's paradise means it feels like paradise, therefore such expression came up. Such expression appeared, because there is some sort of joy, happiness, bliss under ignorance. So, some illusion of happiness, some illusion of temporary happiness is there, but that becomes the cause of so much unhappiness in reaction. So while we live with that illusion of temporary happiness, considering that's our real happiness, then it means we are living in fool's paradise. That's what means to be living in fool's paradise. So back to the point. There are very nice directions. There are some holy mantras even. There are many holy directions, nice directions. Some mantras given in holy scriptures about doing everything, almost doing everything in our life, especially doing all the main principal things in our life, situated in God consciousness, in connection with divine God consciousness. Mantram for eating, mantram for bathing, mantram for even drinks. If you see nightmare, then when you wake up after seeing nightmare, then also you chant some holy mantrams to do away with the evil effects. To do away with the evil effects of the nightmare and all. Even there is some mantra before going to sleep, some mantras while you are waking up. Not one or two mantras, many kinds of mantras. Mostly they are holy names of the Lord. While falling asleep, while waking up, and while you find yourself in danger, in forest or in natural calamity, which mantram to be chanted. There's many directions are there. Why all such directions given through the holy texts? For utility, for real purpose, to help us to be continuously living our life in God consciousness. I repeat, they are there to be helping us to be continuing to be living our lives in higher God consciousness. I can describe about this in a more analytical way, but I think it's enough for now. Touching your point, question, how to relate to the unpleasant things in Krishna consciousness. Answer has been given in the Holy Scriptures as saying, Annaya betireka abhyang. See, janmadasya jato naya itarata. Janmadasya jato naya annaya itarata. Arthe sabhigga sarat. Anyway, so annaya betireka abhyang. Srila Sukadeva Goswami already described in Srimad Bhagavatam. Whole universal creation, maintenance, destructions. I repeat, the functions of universal creations, maintenance and annihilations are all going on in twofold ways, by two aspects. Some are going on in a positive way, some are flowing in a negative way. Some flowing in good way, some flowing in bad way, evil way. It's the combination. This is the nature of the mundane creation. This is the nature of the creation, maintenance and destructions on the mundane plane, that everything is flowing, some portions of everything flowing in a good way, positive way, or others flowing in a bad way, negative way. So that's the way it is on this mundane plane. It's not the way how it flows, how things happen on the divine plane, but that's how it happens on this limited mundane plane of existence, plane of exploitations, limitations, illusions, delusions, bewilderment. Okay. Also, temporary happiness, mortality, plane of birth, death, old age and sickness. These are all inevitable on this mortal mundane plane. So we naturally understand everything cannot be just flowing in a positive way on this plane. Many things also flowing in a negative way. Maybe some things are situated in between positive flow and negative flow, neutral state. Now it is a very good question, how to relate, how to see things, how to see all unpleasant things in Krishna consciousness. We have to connect, we have to see them also in Krishna consciousness in Betireka way. See, the platform of Mahabhagavata, the vision, the platform of the vision of the Mahabhagavata is actually transcending our relative perspectives of good and bad. Sometimes they see, sometimes they don't see. Examples are better than precepts. I'm looking for some appropriate examples to explain. Like a mother relates to her baby's stool, baby's urine. She doesn't hate it. But if you place the same baby in another person's lap, who is not mother or father, yuck. Same thing, different temperament. See, same thing. Other persons are relating more in a negative way, just in a negative, hateful to them, disgusting to them, not disgusting to the father and mother of the baby. They see, rather they have opposite feelings. Once I heard, it's like, a baby has been so sick. Doctor said some stomach problem of the baby. So, as long as baby is not passing that urine or this stool, a big problem for the baby. So, it so happened, at some point during the treatment, baby just passed stool and urine, felt relief from pain, and mother became so happy. Seeing the baby not smiling, passing stool, passing urine on her lap, she felt relief, happy, now baby will be okay, my baby will be okay. Apparently it's a negative thing, passing stool and urine, yuck thing, disgusting. But it is bringing opposite feelings, bringing some feelings in the mother opposite to that, happy, satisfied. Looking at it totally different way. I can find more examples how Mahabhagavatas even relate to things in a Krishna consciousness, even unpleasant things, without not necessarily seeing anything unpleasant there. Like it was destined to be happening like that way. That's how they take it, in a detached way. Knowing, well, it is a negative energy of Krishna. For other examples, there are some examples of being cruel to be kind. Makes sense? Being cruel, actually, or being cruel, apparently, ultimately to be kind. Apparently negative ways, happening all negative ways, looking all negative, being cruel. But the ultimate result is shreya, is good, to do good. Once I found a doctor. There's a doctor, someone going to die, a small child going to die, something happened. He's falling asleep, means going into coma. Doctor held and slapped that child, beating that child to keep it awake. Okay, so that it cries, it doesn't go into the coma. As soon as it goes into the coma, it will die. Okay, slapping the child, pinching the child, beating it to keep it awake, because there is no medicine right now, no treatment available. Somehow to keep the child alive. Okay, in that way, while doing so, trying to give life support, and then brought to the hospital and ultimately saved the life. If he would not be so cruel to be kind, the baby would die, the child would die. You understand? He's going into coma stage. Okay. Apparently looking like somebody choked in the all of a sudden, due to the blunder, the food got blocked and choking the breath. A doctor needs to immediately do operation here. Anything available, any knife available, just to keep the passage of the breathing, blood coming out, it is cutting the throat, but actual doctor knows how to save the life. Appears to be cruel act, but to be kind. So, like in this way, like in the field of surgery, sometimes it so happens, there is no real medicine to paralyze a certain location of the patient. But something needs to be operated immediately, like gangrene or the spreading. So doctor becoming cruel, asking, hold that patient tightly. Okay, hold the leg, hand tightly. I'm going to operate through knife. It will be painful. Okay. And that's how he does. Painful. Cannot tolerate pain. Painful. And then takes out the gangrene part. Takes out that very painful part which is causing so much septic part, of the body. And then, although it was painful, it is a negative act, but it's being cruel to be kind. Then at some point, the root cause of that pain is gone. Body is cured. But during making the operation, it's painful. So, why I am giving all these examples? So, like other examples, somebody seeing someone going to commit suicide. Somehow you go, and if you have no time in hand to nicely ask, please come, don't do it, you are sneaking in, pushing and slapping and beating to save his life. Okay, throwing him out from jumping off the mountain, throwing him on a safe place with power. He gets hurt, falling on the ground because of the power of the throw, but ultimately saving the life. Even feeling angry, you are going to kill yourself. You are such a rude person, cruel person, you are going to kill yourself. Got very angry and kind of thrown him off, down on the ground. Cruel act. Life-saving act. Cruel to be kind. So why I am giving all such many examples in this way? That's how many of the Mahabhagavatas relate. Okay, they see this is mortal world, whole mortal, because they see things, they relate to the things, connect to the things from some very subtle, higher subtle vision, not from the relative, mortal, relative stand of considerations, relative stands of consideration, relative planes of consideration, but they mostly view things from the more absolute plane. So they see, okay, this is mortal world, so birth, maintenance, death. Birth, maintenance, death is very natural. Okay, it's happening, this is what quite expected on this plane. This is what quite naturally expected on this plane. So it's nothing surprising. So death is the another opposite side of birth. Birth is the opposite side of the death. One is connected to other by beginning and end. Through the characters of beginning and end, the same principle, okay, same principle of life appearing and disappearing. Life beginning and ending. Okay, that's how they see. So from the higher Mahabhagavata vision, death is not a negative thing. Okay, activities of the death, function of death is not a negative thing or bad thing. Part of the nature. As birth is a part of nature, maintenance of our life, maintenance and living our life for a while on this mortal plane, also a part of life, and at some point dying, ending the life, saying goodbye, changing the position, situation, in order to go to another life, is also a part of the process. Nothing big deal. They take it natural way. But whereas ordinary people consider death is evil, any type of death, birth is very good, life coming, appearing, welcoming life is very good, positive thing, death is very bad, negative thing. Okay. But that's a very limited vision. Anyway, can you imagine if there would be no death, there would be no death on this earth from the time of creation, millions of years back, then there would be no space. If the birth continued, but there would be no death, then there would be no space for us even to stand. All would be filled. There will be no little place for us even to be standing on one leg. All will be overcrowded. Can you imagine? See, can you imagine if there would be no forgetfulness, if we would not be able to forget things, if all the things from all our past lives, everything from all our past lives, thousands of past lives, would be remembered in the present life, how it would be if God, Supreme God, would not have made our mental setup well equipped to take all this. If we would have the same normal capacity, normal mental brain capacity, and if it so happen all the memories, one could remember everything from the past lives, overcrowded, will go mad. People would go mad simply. So that ability, so the fact that we are able to forget, we are capable of forgetting things, is also boon in many ways. Also boon in many ways. Otherwise, while we pass through the depression, while we pass through the turmoil in life, then at some point turmoil is over. We again feel peaceful and happy because we can forget. We are able to forget. But those who cannot easily forget keeps on suffering, continues to be suffering mentally, and from mental plane in a bodily plane. Mental plane, from the mental plane, suffering extends to the bodily level also and making that person sick. But those who can easily forget, let go, they are relieved. So apparently forgetfulness is a negative thing, something lacking, missing. But same negative thing also has got great utility in certain positive ways. It's not negatively negative all the time. It's positively negative, healthily negative. So, back to the point. Law of karma manifests in positive and negative ways, pleasant, unpleasant ways. Mahabhagavatas, the greatly realized devotees, realized souls know this mundane world is being run. You see, mundane world, mundane creations are not directly connected with Krishna's active will. They are all being taken care of by passive will of Krishna, not by active will. In other words, so we say everything is happening by will of Krishna. True, but there is a lot of difference by nature. Many things are happening, many things on the mundane plane are happening by Krishna's passive will, not active will. Krishna says, I am not directly involved. not directly involved with all this. They are auto-set like in a computer, like it is all programmed in a big computer, okay, big universal computer, and everything is being taken care of by auto-set program, pre-program. Programmer is not responsible directly for everything. No. Main programmer, the main computer programmer who does outputs, inputs, he is not responsible directly for how everything been taken care of by the auto-set program of the computer. But function of programmer, function of programming and programmer is there, but he just created the system, programming system, not that how things will be dealt in that system. It will happen according to the system of justice. So program is so set right, everything will be following certain system, discipline system of appropriate ways. Anyway, many things to be described, explained in this connection of answering to you. So, back to the point, from the higher platform of absolute vision, in other words, from the higher Mahabhagavata level of the vision of the absolute platform standard, the negative things are not considered to be negative. Apparently unpleasant things are not taken as unpleasant. They were due to be happening. That's how it is considered. They were so naturally due to be happening, supposed to be happening that way, as reaction to the action. Everything is happening through the action and reaction, action and reaction. To every action there is equal and befitting reactions. Okay? Action and reaction. And that reaction also gives birth to new action and then further reaction. That further reaction giving birth to the fresh action and then further reaction. Thesis, antithesis, synthesis. Guru Maharaj explained in this way. It's going on in a circular way, cyclic way. So, now back to the point. So, things which appear to be from a relative plane, from the very relative, limited, selfishly motivated plane of considerations, which appear to be very negative, from the absolute stand it may not be appearing as that negative, because it has got some positive purpose, like death. Death is required to make more rooms for the newcomers, new creations, to come, appear and live their life also. If there will be no death, there will be no scope for the newcomers, no scope for the newborn babies, new lives on this plane. Everything is already saturated and occupied and possessed, and there will be great injustice to the newer lives to appear on the plane if there is no death. So death keeps balance. Death always keeps some balance in the nature. It takes away the extra burden of the nature. Okay? So it's not necessarily a negative thing. It has positive purpose also. The battle war happening, very cruel. It's happening due to sinful reactions of the karma, individual karma and collective karma, no doubt. No doubt, it's very unpleasant, sinful things. But sometimes one iron saw is cutting another iron. So, all these battles and wars are destroying the evil each other. Am I clear? during the battles and wars, some of the innocent, some of the good persons or so-called good or innocent people are dying, but also a lot of evil people are dying. Evil people means who are living lives in the mode of ignorance and tamoguna. Those people who are living, used to be living their lives in the mode of ignorance, in the mode of low-classness, mode of sinfulness, with so much violence, exploitation, politics, cheating, hypocrisy, dishonesty. They are also dying a lot in the war, battle. And sometimes you see, in many cases, one party, one evil party is killing another evil party. Both are evil. If you judge properly, you see, both are evil groups, both sides are evil. This way or that way, in this color or that color. So they are killing each other. But as it is programmed by the nature, universal law of karma, to be freeing Mother Earth from the burden of some sinful people, of some sinful beings, in this way. Because most of those people who are engaged in battling, most of them, are mostly, they're living their life mostly in a more tamoguna, tamasic, rajasic way. We cannot deny it. Full of their ways of living of life, full of violence towards animals, killing, ruthless animal slaughters, full of cheating, hypocrisy, like political people. Cheating, hypocrisy, cheating each other, exploiting, selfishness. How much noble acts you find among the people. Most of the people are living life tamasic, rajasic way, full of selfishness, based on their lifestyle, based on selfish exploitations. Some are good, but due to the effect of the collective karma, they also suffer because of the environment and all. It is also that some people are being compelled to join army. They don't want to go to army, compelled to join army by the pressure of the political structure. They have no way out from that. Bad luck for them. They also have some bad karma of the past life, so they have to be in that situation. They are born and brought up in such society where they are compelled to join army, and then when war starts, they have to kill other men. They have got nothing to do. They could be great friends to each other. But now they are killing each other because you are army of that country, I am army of this country, we are now enemies, so we have to kill each other. Such sinful, evil environment, created by some evil people in this world, causing so much displeasure, causing so much difficulty, turmoil, so much distress and misery and turmoil. Supreme God is not creating all this. The way Supreme God created this world, this earth, well-equipped. So well-equipped way to be living our life peacefully, happily, nicely, comfortably. It's the human beings who have been created, endowed with freedom. It is they who are, misusing their free will and creating all the evil stuffs, exploiting the Mother Earth, creating all the evil things for their evil control of power and position and everything. And so it's the human beings who are responsible for creating such bad and negative environment, unhealthy environment, so detrimental, you see, such harmful environment, not Supreme God. Common ignorant, common people complain to God, oh, you are doing it, you are allowing it to happen. Supreme God remains neutral to that, neither allowing nor disallowing. It is auto-programmed. In the law of karma, things are set in an auto-programmed way. Okay, if you do this way, this reaction will come. It is auto-programmed. Supreme Lord doesn't have to be involved. He is not at all directly involved with all this. Even allowing it to happen means passively, not directly allowing it all to happen. It's all being taken care of by preset auto-programming in the big universal computer system, internet system. You know, just as auto-piloting. Many things are going on these days, auto-programmed way. In the toll tax program, no, things are going on by the machine. Things are being carried on, worked through the machines. No man, without humans. So, can you directly always? So, when things are being taken care of by auto-programmed way, then the programmer cannot be held directly responsible for everything. If you abide by the program, cooperate with the program, you will receive good result. Positive result from the program. If you misuse it, if you want to cheat the programs, don't cooperate with the program, then you will also be denied by the program. Some misery will come, refusal and all, complication. So, depending on how you are going to make use of the program, how you are going to cooperate or non-cooperate. Similarly, in the universal law of the creation, according to the, the way we find the structure, some well-disciplined programs of the universal law of karma, the world of universal karma, action and reaction. So it is so set, so programmed. If you do good thing, you will receive good result. If you do bad thing in that program, you will receive bad result. So all set by action and reaction. Just as many things are being taken care of these days by the machines through auto-set programs. Similar way. The government who introduced not directly responsible for what is being taken care of by the program. Anyway, so back to the point. So when people complain, God is doing all this. Oh, God is causing all this killing and all these many cruel things happening. God is responsible. Foolishness. Because the mind is deluded. The mind is covered with ignorance, illusion, delusion. Therefore they say like that. He is doing that and putting the blame on God. That man himself is doing something wrong by misusing his freedom and intelligence, and when the bad result is coming, then putting the blame on God. Such a foolish person. Foolishly arrogant, deluded person. You all the human beings are doing it, all the evil stops. Like exploiting, taking out, digging in and taking out so much drinking water, using for irrigation, wasting, and then when the drinking water is lacking, when there is shortage of drinking water, it is God is responsible for that. By experimenting atomic explosions, underground, underneath the sea, you are simply disrupting the natural texture, natural inner texture of the Mother Earth. And then when tsunami is happening, you are putting blame on God. God never told you, God never asked you, to invent atomic power and misuse it in a negative way, evil way, destructive way. You could have, when you invented that, you could have used it in a positive way, just as atomic power supplies a lot of electricity. Fine. Why should we be using destructive way through destructive competitions? So when all the many countries of the world, many countries are in unhealthy competitions. They are all engaged in unhealthy competitions, war competitions, and experimenting their atomic bombs under earth, under ocean. And due to that effect, the natural inside texture, inner texture of the Mother Earth getting transformed, getting changed, creating imbalance. It is poisoning Mother Earth, number one, poisoning ocean water, number two, then creating tsunami, number three. Then those people, ignorant people, cannot challenge them, cannot stop those politicians, cannot fight them, but they put blame on God. And you are voting those politicians. Same people are voting those politicians. You are also involved directly, indirectly to support them, to support their project. Either you are buying weapon or creating weapon, or you are employed in weapon, earning money. You are promoting that evil acts, and then you are putting blame on God. What is this? God has not asked you. God never asked you to make misuse of the atomic power, to destroy. Have your inventions, have your discovery inventions for destroying. God created. And there's natural death, that is something else. But God never inspired you to destroy yourself. He never caused. You are the cause of your destruction. God doesn't create, human-made flood. That these days, due to a lot of electricity programs, barrage, making barrage on the river, dam, big dams, you said, checking the natural flow of the river, and then the river soil, the ground level of the river coming up naturally, because there is no force of the current of the water. And then when there is scarcity of the water, drought coming, no water for cultivation, no sufficient water for cultivations, God is responsible. God has created rivers, and you are artificially interfering in the ways of the natural creation. So you are disturbing the natural ways of the nature. You are cutting the forest, cutting the forest trees. You are obstructing the rivers, disturbing the river flow. You are creating atom bombs and making experiments, explosion, and poisoning the womb of the Mother Earth, soil and water. By politics, for some political reasons, you are creating the war and battle artificially. Peaceful people don't create the battle and war. The political leaders do, in the name of country, development, At what cost? In the name of saving country, sovereignty, development, improvement. At what cost? At the cost of the lives of your own people. What is more important? Freedom for whom? Sovereignty for who? Development for who? If the human beings don't live there, if all the human beings are gone, your country people are gone, are dead, you are doing all these things for who? So it's a stupid thing. So-called sentiment. People have so much illusory sentiments. And political leaders, they exploit it. They don't die easily, but they cause their country people to die. Whereas those political people stay safe. In many of the times, they ensure their safety and security and all this. Whereas letting the country people dying ruthlessly, they are being killed during the war. And so much evil business going on, selling and buying weapons. Big market. This is a big season of weapon selling, making lots of millions and billions of profit by selling weapons. Is God creating all this? Is God responsible for all this? God created you with intelligence, with higher intelligence and conscience, human being, God created you being equipped, making you equipped with so many nice qualities, not for misuse, for proper use. And if you are misusing, while you are engaging in misusing your intelligence, your freedom to destroy instead of saving life for the destruction, you are responsible. These human beings are responsible. Human societies are responsible to invite all the destructions for bringing the disruptions on Mother Earth in the nature. God is not responsible. God created everything in a beautiful, nice, natural, beautiful, pleasant way. Okay? God created everything. God created air. See, He created earth, water, food, air, ether, lights, to live our life comfortably, to maintain, sustain, live our life so nicely. You are the ones who did not cooperate with the ways of God's creation, with the natural ways. You disturbed and disrupted the natural ways. You interfered. Misusing your freedom, you interfered in God's creation. Okay, wrong way, evil way. And you are causing so much so much disruption, turmoil, evil things to happen, and then you are putting blame on God. It's crazy. So they are foolish, mad people, because they don't judge properly. They don't have proper lights of the knowledge, proper ability of the judgment. Why I am explaining all this in details? To explain unpleasant. You asked me something, how to see the unpleasant things in Krishna consciousness. The way the higher wise realized persons see all this, that this was supposed to happen because most of the things are living their life ungodly way, tamasic way. They are not following the instructions of God. They are not following the very nice recommendations and directions of God about do's and don'ts. God says don'ts, and they do very things what God says don'ts. What God recommends as don'ts, they do those very things. And what God says do's, He recommends as do's, they don't do that. So if you don't listen to God, if you don't follow God's benedicting instructions, most beneficial instructions, how can you expect that some great help will come from God? You are in the very first place, you are disobeying God. You are so disobedient to the God's recommendations, God's instructions. So when you are becoming so disobedient to God, disobeying God's instructions, how can you expect some ready-made help from God? In one hand, you will be disobeying God. On the other hand, you will be praying to God, please help me, please help me. On the other hand, you are not cooperating with God, disobeying with audacity, out of illusion. On the other hand, please help me. What is this? Self-contradictory. But people don't realize it because of the illusion. Deluded, the influence of the delusions on the thought process of the judgment. The whole process of the consideration, so-called normal thought process of giving considerations, are also deluded, illusionized in many ways. So they don't think deeply, they don't consider analytically, they don't consider with liberated thought process. They are so selfishly prejudiced in the first place. They cannot see the holistic truth, how they can judge holistically. So their judgments also become affected in a prejudiced ways, very relative, selfishly conditioned, prejudiced manners. So, back to the point. So, Mahabhagavata, the way Mahabhagavata's view, the Supreme Lord created you in a nice way, created you endowed with nice free will and intelligence and everything for utility. Meaning, for utility, that you will be utilizing your free will, freedom, intelligence in a positive way. But if you misuse it, while you choose to be misusing it, it's up to you. If you want to become your enemy, fine. So become your enemy. Then, if you don't want to, if you choose not to become your friend, you choose to become your enemy, fine. Then stay prepared to get the befitting result. So be ready to get all the negative, unpleasant results for that. God is not responsible for that. So, and don't blame on God. So while you are inviting unpleasant things in your own life by misusing, wrongly using your own freedom, own intelligence, then you are inviting it. Let it happen so. Let it happen in that way because you are inviting it. It's not happening on its own, you are inviting it. So let it happen in that way. Mahabhagavata sees all this from a detached stand of neutrality. You want to become your enemy? God says, don't become your enemy, be your best friend, try to be your best friend, still you want to become your enemy. Fine. Go through the experience. Don't blame on God. Since you are inviting all the unpleasant stuffs, evil stuffs in your life, fine. Go through it, pass through it. So that's how Mahabhagavata see from a neutral, detached stand, it was supposed to be happening. Wanted by all these conditioned jivosouls with diluted mind. They don't follow God. They don't want to follow virtuous, high-class, noble, virtuous life. They don't want to follow life in the mode of goodness. They always choose to be living life in the mode of passion or low-classness, sinful mode of passion and sin. So, lot of unpleasant things happening. It is supposed to happen So befitting results, befitting effects are also supposed to come. That's how they deserve. So that's how, because they are inviting all this, so they deserve to be passing through. Let it happen that way. See, detached stand. From a detached stand, they are considering it. Neither positive or negative. Oh, it's nothing. They don't bother about it. Kind of. So many are taking birth, every second many are taking birth, many are dying. Every second many are being born, many are dying, many are suffering from sickness. Okay, many accidents happening, many good things happening, many are crying, many are laughing, many are doing so many criminal activities, many are doing some virtuous activities. If you take a picture of the 1 second of the all over earth, not even universe, just take register a photography, register some picture of 1 second of the whole of the earthly creation only, not even universal creation, earthly creation. You can see so many things are happening at the same time. Okay, mixture of good and bad. Okay, good and bad, good and evil. Mahabhagavatas, from the plane of their absolute vision, platform of absolute vision, they don't bother about. Okay, this is how it's supposed to be. That's their way of feelings. That's their how to say. That's their temperament. That's their sentiment or temperament. Oh, it's the way of happening. I mean, this is the way it's supposed to be happening. That's the way it is. That's what is expected on this mundane plane. Mundane plane of mortality. Okay, mortality, limitations, change, always changing. Nothing surprising here. So they take it just in a normal way. Okay, so-called good and so-called bad. Okay, so now back to the point, how they relate them in Krishna consciousness. They see, okay, many temporary good things are happening in this creation. Also, it is being validated, being validated by Krishna's arrangement, Krishna's potency. Nothing can happen without Krishna's potency. Okay, many good things are happening. Also, many bad things are happening. Also validated by passive will of Krishna, passive activity of potency of Krishna, not active potency. Okay, you know, passive means like a signature of the governor on the money. Because of the signature, the money is validated. Okay, but the signature, that minister or governor is not directly responsible how that money getting used, bad or good or bad way. But without the government sanction, money cannot be validated. So because somebody misusing the money, we cannot hold that finance minister responsible, or that criminal misused the money, why you signatured, why you bank validated the money, therefore bank is responsible for such criminal activity. We cannot. So government or finance ministry is not directly responsible for good and bad activities through good use and bad use of the money, because they are sanctioning money. Okay, money is sanctioned, validated for good things, for utility, not meant for being misused. If somebody misuses, they are responsible. He is responsible, not the finance ministry, not the bank. I can give you many examples like that. It is an example of the passive validation, passive will. Okay, because nothing can happen, good or bad, without the potency, energy of Parang Brahma, superpower. Okay, I repeat, because it is impossible for anything to happen, okay, in the creation without the validation of the energy of the superpower. Okay. So therefore, it is there, but if it is plus or minus or zero in between, it's this two coins, two sides of the same coin. This side, in this mundane plane, দ্বৈতে ভদ্রা ভদ্রজ্ঞান সব মনোধর্ম, এই ভালো এই মন্দ এই সব ভ্রম, so-called temporary good or so-called temporary bad. Both are changing, So the way Mahabhagavata's view, they don't take it so seriously, they don't bother about. This is the nature of this changing mundane world. Always, everything is temporary. Here, all good things also temporary, bad things also temporary. So-called good, it doesn't mean much to them, the flow of good and bad. Like, so, what I was saying, both so-called good, so-called bad, both are the two sides of the same coin. And in between, in the middle part of the coin, which is connecting goods, this side and that side, that is neutral, zero. Suppose if you divide a coin like this, like in between plus and minus, zero. This side and that side, zero. Neutrality. Anyway, just I'm giving some example, idea. So that's how, from the plane of absolute consideration, it's viewed. All the negative, unpleasant things are viewed like it is the reaction. It is the side of reaction from an action. Okay? Again, some point, there will be some good. After turmoil is over, there will be some good things. Again, there will be some turmoil. This moment, some happiness coming. As a reaction of the happiness, some sorrow going to come, like birth and death. Death is being ensured with birth. Birth is being ensured with death. One is ensuring the other. If one doesn't happen, the other will not happen. So, they see, because it's temporary positive things happening, so it is ensuring some negative things going to come soon. Reaction. When negative things are happening, okay, it will soon be over. Some positive things will come. Chakravat parivartante dukhanicha sukhanicha, scripture says. In this mundane plane of existence, our well and woe, pains and pleasure are all going on circular way, one after another. There's really nothing to bother about so much. Okay, here. So, that is the way here. So therefore, unpleasant portion is just a natural part of the natural mundane creations. It is supposed to happen, destined to happen. Like some good things are destined to happen, bad things also destined to happen. That's the way it is. And that makes the real difference between mundane plane and the divine plane. Things on the divine plane starts happening in positive way, ends in positive way. Starts in happiness, starts in positive happiness, ends in positive happiness. But in mundane plane, almost of opposite nature. It's not like that. So therefore, Mahabhagavatas can also relate, or the highly intelligent devotees can also relate to the temporary unpleasant things in a Krishna conscious way. Now back to the really answering your question. In a Krishna conscious way, which way? Like it was needed. For some reason it was required. It was required by the nature, by the law of karma. So, although it's negative, unpleasant things, but it's not really bad. It's not really unpleasant from the absolute platform. it was required to serve some purpose. Such destruction is happening for further creations. Okay, it has a purpose. Okay, when they see, some people are getting ruthlessly killed through battle, through war, they think, these people who got ruthlessly killed, they also became killer of so many. They also killed so many animals ruthlessly, unkindly. Those animals who did not do any harm to them, they are simply living. They are simply living their own life naturally. These same people ruthlessly killed those animals, okay, just to satisfy the greed of the tongue. So these people deserve it. Some unpleasant things happening in these lives of the same people, they are also getting killed. They deserve it by action and reaction of the karma. Okay. We find some of the sections of the people, both are of evil type. They are killing each other in the battlefield. In many of the countries you see, two evil parties, both are evil. They are killing each other. I am not naming any sect or anything, you understand. They are killing each other. The way, some people think, it's an unkind act, very violent, unkind, unpleasant act. How we can relate to it in a Krishna conscious way, positive Krishna conscious way. But from the higher vision, it can be connected. Some wise, realized soul can, intelligent devotees can relate to in Krishna conscious way, seeing in this way, now by Lord's will, arranged by some passive will or active will or passive will of Krishna, the burden of Mother Earth, extra burden of Mother Earth are now taken away. And Mother Earth being freed from the burden, which is the promise, one of the promises of the Lord, time to time to be freeing Mother Earth from the sinful burden. Okay. And most of the people getting killed are not saintly persons. They are not all in mode of goodness. Maximum, 90% in the mode of passion and ignorance, mode of tamoguna. So much sinful activities. And they are getting killed. Fine. They don't see it, unpleasant thing. They neither see as unpleasant or pleasant, or they may also see in a positive way, pleasant way. It was required. It is required time to time. Okay? When they see the natural calamities, it is required time to time for cleansing, to create new scope for the newcomers, creating new rooms, new scope for the newcomers. So, they see even all the unpleasant things also have got a purpose behind, positive purpose behind. Okay, it's not totally unpleasant. From the absolute platform of consideration, they are not totally negative or just unpleasant. They have got a positive purpose behind. All deaths have got positive purpose of further creation, to welcome new creations, make some room for the new beings. Okay, welcoming the new lives, making some room for them. Okay, and now, even if the unpleasant things like cutting of the trees or some great accidents happening or through natural calamities, they see the purpose is that annihilation, this is the part of the annihilation activity, opposite to the birth, opposite to the creation. As birth and creation is required, maintenance is required, timely death also required, timely annihilation, function of annihilation also required. That's the way it is. Whole universal creation going on. Beyond the judgment of good and bad, they are what they are. Okay, beyond any prejudice judgment of good and bad, We are judging good and bad from our limited relative prejudiced vision, according to our selfish stand, prejudiced way. Okay, relative, these are all relative. From the absolute plane of vision, they are required. Even the whole, in one day, whole universe will be diluted into space. What to speak of little annihilation, destruction here and there. Whole universe will all be destroyed, annihilated, and be simply diluted, dissolved in the space. Only space will remain. So that's the biggest unpleasant thing. But to the devotees, it's not the unpleasant thing, because Atma remains. We are never destroyed. Myself, my real self is never destroyed. My real self ever remaining. I am energy particle of God. Being the energy particle of the Supreme God, Krishna's energy, I ever remain eternally. Energy never destroys. Energy is never destroyed. It's transformed only. All other things which are transformable, they are destroyed. And again they are destroyed to be transformed into another entity, another being. When the whole universe is being destroyed and dissolved in this space, suppose, where they are going? They are going somewhere. They are staying in the energy form, subtle energy form. So the subtle energy identity of the whole creation is never destroyed. That is Lord's energy. It is remaining. So it is not dying. So the Mahabhagavata is not unpleasant, just transformation. It's the activities of the transformations. The main thing is remaining in the energy form. Just transforming from one into another, into another, into another. So something which is so unpleasant to some people from a relative vision, it's not that. From the universal vision, it's not the same from the universal vision. So when things are judged from the universal platform of considerations, absolute plane of considerations, they look differently. Apparently unpleasant happenings, not unpleasant. They are required for certain purpose, to serve certain purpose. So, devotees can relate that in Krishna conscious way. It is required for serving some higher purpose, some other positive purpose. So, there is Krishna's will behind it. They see it in a positive way or from a neutral stand. If not from positive or negative way, from a neutral stand. Neutral stand of the judgment, like watching detached way. Just being watchful. Just being watchful of what is happening, so-called good, so-called bad. Temporary good, temporary bad. Temporary good, temporary evil things happen. Watching from a stand of equilibrium. Neutral stand, overlooking, overviewing everything from a detached, neutral stand. Okay, neither considering they are positive or negative. Taking it, this is the way it's supposed to happen, so happening. For example, every moment many old cells in our body are dying. And new cells are getting created. Every moment, many things, many parts, especially the cells of our body is dying and creating the room for the new cells. And that's how we are continuing our life up to the time of changing this whole body to go into another body. So, what is pleasant, what is unpleasant? Every moment, the functions of every moment of the dying of the many cells of our body, is it pleasant or unpleasant? How you view? From the stand, from the level of those cells, if there are relatives of those cells who are dying, they will be crying, they will be mourning, you are all dying, so it is very bad activity, unpleasant for them. But it's not unpleasant for the interest of your organic whole. Because you are remaining, you are living, it is required. So for some it is unpleasant, but from the higher picture, wider picture, it's not unpleasant, it's required to serve some purpose. So that's how devotees can see. They can even see those happening in Krishna consciousness. See those, they are happening for a reason, for a positive reason, or for a neutral reason. Just for a reason, without judging positive or negative. Supposed to be like that. That's the way it is. Okay, without judging. So they can relate in superpower consciousness, universal consciousness that is all directed by the superpower. Or in other words, the supreme, all-pervading superpower. So it will not be appropriate to be judging those unpleasant things really as unpleasant, bad, and being validated, created, caused by the superpower. Krishna is responsible for all these unpleasant things. So how can he be kind God, merciful God? He is doing all this. These are all foolishness. These are all foolish ways of thought process, considerations. These are not enlightened considerations. So therefore, which is problem for the ordinary person to relate to so-called unpleasant, temporary unpleasant things in the world in Krishna consciousness. It's not a problem for high-class Krishna devotee to relate to the same in Krishna consciousness, knowing it is also required. There is some purpose behind it. Complete. And they view in a detached way. Again I say, they overview the whole thing, watching the whole thing like evidence, like witness. Okay, in a detached way, without involving, okay, from a neutral stand. That's the way one can relate to all, even unpleasant things in Krishna consciousness. Annaya Vyatireka Abhyang. That Lord's creation on this mundane plane is the combination of the both natures, positive and negative, I repeat. Knowing that the very nature of Lord's creation, okay, on this mundane plane, or the very nature of the Lord's mundane creation, mundane universe, is of such type that it is always the mixture of good and evil, well and woe, pains and pleasure, okay, positive and negative. That's the way it's supposed to happen. So it's the part of the creation. So something being considered very unpleasant from certain relative aspects and relative stand of judgment is not truly unpleasant from the wider picture of the vision, wider considerations of the vision, whole vision. That's how. Okay. Also, you can notice something. After something very unpleasant happened, then thereafter something also positive happening because of that. Some positive effects, outcome coming because of that. For example, after natural calamity, see, after flood, when the flood goes away, land becomes fertile. Many things get cleaned, okay, through some deaths, through some so-called unpleasant activities, actions like some beings, water creatures are dying, death, and some animals are dying, this, that. After the flood is over, everything is not bad. Land becomes fertile. Many things are clean through the water. some places where water was required, water was not reaching there in a normal way during flood. The function, the necessity for that portion of the land to receive more water also got fulfilled. So after some unpleasant things happening, unpleasant effect, we also see some positive effects. When we find one side, one banks, one shore of the river is broken, went under the river, another side developed. When we see one portion of the land is going down under the sea, another portion coming up, island, giving chance, creating a very beautiful chant, very nice facilities for others to live in, So when during this battle, during this battle or war, many people are dying. This is very unkind and pathetic, no doubt. Pathetic. Very pathetic, very regretting, sad things. But then you see, burden of the Mother Earth is reduced. Burden of the overpopulations. Overpopulations means overexploitations. Overpopulation means overkilling of the, ruthless killing, cruel killing of the animals. Overpopulation means over-cheating, over-exploiting, over-killings of so many animals and all these exploitation. So with the death, so with the leave of many people in the mode of passion and ignorance, they are saintly people. Mostly they are not living life in the mode of goodness. So what is happening with their departure? So much evil reaction, I tell you again, with their departure, so much evil reactions on the Mother Earth. It was getting exploited so many ways by so many people, are now gone, reduced. This is a good side. Positive side after that. Something pleasant happening for the next generation. For the next generation. Leaving some more room, creating more room and more space. And also it's happening by the law of karma. To every action there is equal and befitting reaction. So to every sinful action there is also equal and befitting sinful reaction. So to every sinful reaction of killing, ruthlessly, cruelly killing all the animals, not 1 day, 2 days, years after years, and enjoying and hypocritically claiming once, I am noble human being. I am noble. Like big mafias. Big mafias, the characters? They are so lovely and doubly to their own family members. But the same mafias are ruthlessly, cruelly killing others like anything. Killing is nothing for them. So, if somebody sees, oh, that mafia is so nice to his own wife, so nice to his daughter and children, so lovely, doubly, so kind-hearted, giving some charities to the school and some hospital. These are all so-called things. But same person is ruthlessly killing so many. It's nothing for them. So even they are giving some charities or school or hospital for his own name and fame to increase that mafia power, not good power. Not power in the mode of goodness, but power in the mode of tamo, sinful power. So that they can be more powerful by acquiring more popularity and goodwill in the society, by commanding many people to become submissive to him. He's giving in some charity and this and that. And what money they are giving back to the people in the form of charity, what he is forcibly exploiting from them. See? So apparently mafias are engaged in doing some good things. Being so nice to their own family members, treating so nicely, having so much affection. They have real love and affection for their own children and family. They are very nice. But same people are killing others like anything is nothing. Cold-blooded murder. I saw in a movie once, somebody showed me, Godfather. Oh, coming to eat food, suddenly remember, oh, I forgot to kill him. I forgot to kill him. Oh, okay. So I'm just coming. Told his wife, I forgot to do something, so let it be on the table. I'm just coming back. Just went, found him, killed, peed in a nice, peaceful way, smoked some cigarette and came back and ate again. Killing is nothing for them. And the same people, same person also being nice, lovely-dovely to some of the relatives, family relatives. Does it mean that that person is really good guy? No. So why I'm saying all this? Like those people who are ruthlessly engaged in sinful activities of killing the animals to satisfy their greed, years after years. What is a big deal when the reaction coming? When the reaction to their own sinful action coming back to them, they kill many animals for many years, and now they are getting killed for once only. Even it's not full-scale punishment yet. So what's the big deal? It's a befitting reaction. They may try to deny, oh, animals are our food, so there is nothing wrong, no sin to eat our food. Very good. So suppose when you very good. So when you entered a forest, suppose you went inside a forest, and all of a sudden you faced with tiger and lion. Okay? So now tiger or lion wants to eat you. You are also his food. Okay? You are also the food. In a similar way, you are also the food of tiger and lion. So give yourself. Give yourself. Why you are praying to God, oh God, now save me, you are running away. You are also his food. Justice should be same. Law should be the same. Oh, for you to satisfy the greed of your tongue, now you say you are showing this reason, bringing up all these logics and reason. Oh, they are our food, so there is no harm, no sin in eating our food. Very good. So you are all so many numbers in population, tigers and lions more or less. So better to give your body, okay, give your body as their food and benefit them, favor them. Then you do not have the same judgment. In a similar way, okay, those animals are my food, so I ate those animals, no sin in that. So I am similar way, I am also food to the tiger and lion. So it is better, it will be my virtuous act. Let me allow myself to be eaten by tiger, lion. No. Opposite feeling. See how our ways of considerations, judgment is prejudiced in a selfishly motivated way. Selfishly motivated way. And therefore, in order to promote and support our selfish exploitation, we always create some selfishly motivated illusory reasoning. You know, baseless, stupid reasoning. It's like that. While I'm smoking, my lungs are taking. So God has created the lungs for absorbing the smoke, tobacco smoke, because it is taking, no problem. Showing the reason of the chain smokers, trying to avoid the truth that God has not created the lungs to infuse tobacco smoke. God has created the lungs to inhale, to absorb pranic energy from the air and be invigorated with the pranic energy from the fresh air, not for forcibly infusing smoke. God is merciful, benevolent, therefore your lungs taking some smoke, otherwise you would die immediately. Okay? So, Don't be reasoning wrongfully. So, because lungs are taking, it's fine. Otherwise lungs could have refused it, but it's not refusing. It's taking smoke and giving me nice sensation. So therefore, lungs also have the purpose of the creation of lungs also for absorbing smoke. This is called wrong reasoning, stupid reasoning. Something they're imposing artificially. In a similar way, a stomach is taking the meat and everything, all these. So stomach is natural. But there are so many ways to prove that human body is not meant for eating meat, scientifically. The nature of our blood is that of alkaline type, no acidic type. All the nature of the blood of the meat-eating animals are acidic. The way intestine looks of the vegetarian and non-vegetarian. Teeth, by way of teeth, by way we drink water. Okay, every way. There's clear natural guidelines, natural science that the natural food for the humans are vegetarian, not non-veg. But still some people want to be forcing. Just as they force in the smoke in their own lungs, feeling so-called good in any way, then in the long run, inviting so much trouble. So many sickness, heart trouble, lungs trouble, cancer, this and that. See, this is called illusion. Illusion. Our judgment, the judgments of the common people often get illusioned, deluded. And they think, the danger is that they consider their deluded judgment as real judgment. They don't realize because they are already under illusion, delusion, so they cannot figure out because they have no ability to detect in an independent way because they are already drowned in that illusion and delusion. So it is difficult for them to separately figure out that they are wrong because they are living inside the wrong, totally influenced and helplessly controlled by wrong. So they are thinking wrong as right. They have no power of discriminations between what is wrong, what is right, because they are already influenced and helplessly captured by wrong. Only wise people can discriminate. They have the ability. They have the power of making discriminations between real good and real bad. But those who are living with bad, inside bad, in the ocean of wrong, they cannot discriminate between right and wrong because they will consider some part of wrong is right. It's normal. Because they do not have the ability of comparative study. So back to the point. What I was saying lastly. So when some reaction coming, sinful reaction coming, many people are dying in the battle. Or anyway, it is due to the sinful reaction of ruthless animal killing for years, not for 1 or 2 days. And they live their life so long, happily, nicely for years, one time dying. Is it a big deal? Is it a big reaction? Unpleasant thing from the absolute platform? Wider picture? No. They deserved it. If they would all become sadhus, on the other hand, if all these 90% of the people in the world will become sadhus, living life in the mode of goodness, there would not be any political competitions, there would not be any bomb competitions, nuclear power competitions, audacious competitions of showing, look, I am more powerful than you. No audacious competitions of forcibly taking over others' land to prove I am bigger than you. There would be no such competition. There would be no such ruthless animal killings. There would not be big slaughterhouse business. So there would not be so many natural calamities also. There would not be so much fightings and battles. There would not be so much battles and war all over the world, so much killings? Because everyone is sadhu in the first place. So there will be no question. There will be simply no questions of fighting with each other, battling with each other, killing each other, giving bomb competitions, heinous way of political, shrewd, heinous, hypocritic political competitions. Because sadhu's way opposite to that. Everything would be so developing, growing up in positive way with peace, harmony, with mutual love, with mutual loving care for each other, situated in higher spiritual consciousness. Whole world would be turned into heaven. If the people would be following Supreme Lord's instructions, Supreme God's instructions, His recommendations of do's and don'ts, the whole world could be transformed into heaven. But alas, they don't want to do that. Often people want to become their enemy instead of becoming their friend. And they consider becoming their enemy means, they are becoming their friend. That's living in fool's paradise. While you are actually becoming your enemy, performing, acting to be your enemy, you are thinking, in this way I am becoming my friend, helping myself. That's living in fool's paradise, not in real paradise. While you are actually becoming your friend, and then you are thinking, you are having the satisfaction, happiness, yes, now I could become the great friend of mine, I am becoming the best friend of mine, feeling very satisfied and happy. Then they are living in real paradise. Good. But alas, due to the wrong notions, due to the effects of law of karma, misuse of the free will, misuse of the free will, misuse of the free intelligence, like the way terrorists do. You can find many of the terrorist leaders, terrorist activists, members, are technically intelligent. You can find some doctors, engineers, scientists are involved. For what? They're all engaged in destroying, killing, not making. Okay? Not developing, building in a positive way, killing. What's the value of such intelligence? Deadly intelligence. But that intelligence, the power of intelligence given by God in human beings for utility, not for misuse. But because all the human beings are also given some free will, all the humans are created with free will, endowed with free will. Because it's a free will by nature, so always there's possibilities of misuse and proper use and misuse. Supreme Lord saying, I have given you intelligence, I have given you free will for proper use, not for misuse. If you make proper use, you will become a great friend of yourself. You will be becoming best friend of yourself. If you make misuse, you will become the worst enemy to yourself. Choose what you want to do. So, this is what it is. So therefore, highly realized devotees of Krishna can relate to even all these temporary, unpleasant things, also in some positive way, from a neutral state of detachment, overviewing, state of witness, stand of witness. It was supposed to happen, required to be happening, through the chains of action and reaction. Supreme Lord is not involved with all this. Supreme Lord Krishna is not involved with all these unnecessary things. It's all going on by auto-set programs. All going on, taken care of by auto-set programs, universal programs of law of karma, internets of laws of karma. That way. All right, see, to explain things thoroughly takes so much time, but it's clarified, well clarified, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Malati Devi Dashi is going to say, super late. It's going to be super late, almost 9:30, like yesterday. Malati Devi Dashi, I am actually appreciating you while I am saying this. I am actually praising you while I am saying this because you are the most practical person. You are taking care of the practical side, okay, to take care of the time, place, situation appropriately. Someone is needed to do the reality checking while we are all being absorbed and flowing in other world, other dimensions. Okay, someone is needed to do reality checking. And Malati Devi Dashi is doing that. I appreciate. I can looking at the eyes. Some of your eyes feeling sleepy. Some of you saying, enough, Maharaj. Enough of it. You said the same thing repeatedly. Okay. It's nice to hear very good philosophical things, but we are feeling so tired now. So, listening to you is good. Listening to you, your Harikatha is good, but now taking a rest is better. Eating prasad and going back home is now better. Isn't it? Some of you feeling like that? Tell me who is not feeling in the same way. Anyway.
How much questions we can give now? How many questions we can give now?
No more questions.
No more questions.
9:30, so it's prasadam time. It's a time to enjoy the taste of prasad.